For Tsukune, life at Yokai Academy had its advantages. On top of the primary rules, where everyone had to remain out of their monster forms and couldn't reveal their monster identity, Tsukune was able to blend in relatively easy enough. He had the strength for the most part, so he wouldn't be bullied. He could at least hold his own in a fight if it really came down to it. But for safety, Tsukune decided to just continue playing the role of the meager student, to sort of be nonchalant. He still had no idea just who or what he truly was, so there was no point in him adding unneeded attention to himself. He even took up wearing glasses. He didn't actually need the glasses, but he figured it added to the overall weak and feeble charm. Whenever he wasn't around the other students, and just around his friends, Mocha, Kurumu, and Yukari, he would ditch the whole weak persona, and with the help of the girls, he still had to try to figure out just who or what he was. Despite Mocha looking around, she couldn't get any information about what Tsukune was. Kurumu couldn't get any information either. Yukari, being the bookworm of the gang, she found some theories here and there, but the whole idea of a spider-powered individual, they didn't have too much information. Kurumu would then point out that, all in all, they had never really heard about spider monsters before. Well, there were some tall tales about them, about how they were some ancient race of warriors or a monster clan from a long time ago that got wiped out. You know, there were a lot of monster clans that went extinct or dissolved for various reasons, and the spiders were no different. But all in all, the whole idea of spider monsters was something of a taboo, even to the monster community. It wasn't something that they actually took serious, or rather, it was something that most adults chose not to talk about. In the meantime, though, Yokai Academy was slowly starting to be placed on high alert. You see, there's more to the monster world than just a Yokai Academy. There are different towns, settlements, civilizations, and whenever the students weren't on campus, it wasn't uncommon for them to go to the town that was not too far away. After all, it was a community made for monsters and by monsters. It was known as Yokai Central, basically a metropolitan but for monsters. As Tsukune walked around Yokai Central, he noted that it was very similar to Tokyo, Japan. Although, given where the location was, the portal that led from the human world to the monster world, seeing where it ended up taking them, it wasn't uncommon of an idea to believe that this was probably the inspiration. But for Tsukune, he learned that there was a lot more to this world than even he could truly fathom. That being that there were other ways. There were other worlds altogether, different regions, planes of existence, far more than just where Yokai Academy was stationed and even the human realm. There were a lot of different realms out there in the world. Of course, Tsukune, still trying to keep focus, wasn't able to fully comprehend everything that was being thrown to him, as he was still dealing with the idea of him being, well, not human, but not a monster either. The reason why the town was slowly being placed on high alert was because of the murders. Not much information was being given out about them. They were being kept close to the vest, and the local authorities were not letting anyone get clued in as to what was happening. Although there were two officers, most likely in their human forms. As Tsukune and his friends walked past, Tsukune could overhear the conversation. "This is the fourth one. It can't be a coincidence." "Yeah, but even still, I don't want to think that one of them could actually be alive." "Oh, what? You scared, Stacy?" Come on. I've been on the beat for I don't know how many years. I'm this close to retirement, and then this sort of hell just gets dragged into our town. It's the last thing I want to deal with. I got a baby girl at home, you know. I'm not trying to die. Oh, come on, no need to worry, Stacy. If anyone's gonna survive this, it's definitely gonna be us. It's probably just a copycat, some would-be killer. Yeah, but what would-be killer wraps up all of their victims inside of cocoons made out of webbing? The two officers would continue on with their conversation. And Tsukune, well, now that definitely was something he needed to hear. As he caught up with the girls, he would tell them about what he heard, about some murders that were going on around town, and even more so that it had something to do with spider webs. The girls would immediately duck into an alleyway, making sure no one heard them. Tsukune, are you sure you heard what you thought you heard? Kurumu would ask him. I mean, it's what those officers were talking about. I just picked on it by chance. It's just... Tsukune, you're not really a serial killer, are you? Yukari would ask. No, of course I'm not. Come on, guys, Mocha would say. You know Tsukune, he's not that type of person. He would never murder people. I know that, Kurumu would say. I know my Tsukune. I know for a fact that he would never harm or kill innocents. I think you mean my Tsukune, Yukari would chime in. The three girls now fighting over Tsukune once more, but they all came to the same conclusion. Tsukune wasn't a murderer. He wouldn't go around killing innocent people. But at the same time, what were they going to do? Tsukune had these powers. There was no denying that. If word got out of what Tsukune was, and if these murders were to somehow be linked to him, well, he wouldn't have anywhere to go. You see, murder, just like in the human world, is taken very seriously in the monster world. Now, granted, you do have scuffles between monsters that sometimes turn deadly. Nothing you can do about that. But we're talking about straight up unwarranted murder. And with the taboo of spider people in general, and the tension that was rising in the air, if Tsukune found himself being caught up in the middle of all this, then it could only spell more disaster. The girls would make Tsukune promise not to use his spider powers, at least not the webbing. I mean, if he had to use a little bit of super strength, then sure, it wasn't uncommon for that to happen. But for the most part, he needed to lay low and make sure that he didn't draw any attention to himself. In the meantime, the students were picking what clubs they were going to join. Tsukune and the girls decided they were going to join the newspaper club that was ran by a senior student, a boy by the name of Gini Morioka. Safe to say for Tsukune, if he thought he was just going to be able to lay low without anyone, dogpiling on him, he'd have to think again. You see, it all happened by chance. Tsukune was just walking around on school campus minding his own business when he saw someone he couldn't recognize at first standing on top of a few boxes that were positioned over a window looking into the girls' locker room. Well, you see, Tsukune tried to confront the guy, but then he ran away. But then in the midst of the commotion, the girls would find Tsukune and, looking like a boy that had been caught with his hand in the cookie jar, he then became social non grata to the entire school. More importantly, to the entire body of the female, student board, mainly because they thought he was a no-good peeping Tom, and he was, basically ostracized. If Tsukune was trying to keep a low profile and a low cover, this definitely wasn't the way to do it. Now the girls had to figure out who was really behind the peeping incidents and to try to get Tsukune's name cleared. while Tsukune found himself walking around school with garbage, trash, everything being hurled at him. Of course, with his spire sense, he could have dodged it all with ease, but, secret identities and all. Tsukune found himself shoved in a lot of lockers and suffered a lot of swirlies. On one particular day, as he made his way out of the boys' bathroom, he stumbled outside, going to the vending machine to grab a can of juice before sitting down on the bench to drown in his sorrows, where off in the distance, a girl who was leaning next to a motorcycle would look up at him. The girl was definitely well endowed, to say the least, sporting a crop top red shirt along with leather black pants and a leather black jacket with spikes on the shoulders and a pair of black boots. The girl had fiery red hair that was tied in a ponytail and some nicely made shades. As she looked over to Tsukune, she smiled a bit before speaking to the troubled boy. "So, I hear you like peeping at breast, eh, Tsukune-kun?" "What the? I didn't." "Don't worry. I see you're the type of boy that just loves causing trouble around here." The girl would sashay her way in front of Tsukune. "You smell like absolute shit. What happened? They give you a triple swirly?" "I don't want to talk about it." That's not what really piques my interest. It's the fact that you just let it happen. Huh? I mean, come on, who are you trying to fool? If you wanted to beat up almost every kid in this school, I know you'd have the power to do it. You're not as weak as you're trying to make yourself off to be. Everyone else here might be a bunch of loser sheep, but I'm not one of them. You're not going to be able to pull a fast one on me, kid. Tsukune would be trying to find the words as the girl leaned forward in front of him, with him getting perfectly good views of the cleavage area. "The name's Emma Blaze. You probably heard of my dad, used to be a stunt motorcyclist, made a deal with the devil, ended up becoming the spirit of vengeance, the Ghost Rider." I see. Wait, you're not supposed to reveal your... Yeah, you're not supposed to reveal your monster identity, yada, yada, yada. I honestly don't even want to be here. If it wasn't for my damn mom and my old man, I definitely would have joined in the family business. Hunting down spirits, that's the A game for me. Hunting spirits? Yeah, comes with the job. Hunting down spirits, rogue monsters, demons, all that jazz. It's kind of what my family does. I wanted to do it, but no, I have to get an education first. But I got this sweet ride. She showed Tsukune her newly made Harley Davidson, the motorcycle of her particular choice. I know everyone likes to ride the new sleeker model stuff, but me, I love the classics. Can't beat a good Harley Davidson, not around these parts. And getting it in Tokyo? Good luck. I had to find this off of a vendor on Craigslist. It's cool. It can do even more. You want to see? Before Tsukune even had a chance to say no, he found himself sitting behind her, wrapping his hands around her waist and holding on for dear life, as the girl would immediately flame. Her face, well, a lack thereof. It was nothing but a skull. The flames where her hair used to be, and even emitting from her eyes. The wheel setting on fire as she revved up the engine before the two of them were blazing off of the school campus, riding all throughout the forest that surrounded Yokai Academy. Tsukune held on for dear life as the daughter of the spirit of vengeance gave him the ride to remember. You definitely held on better than the last one. The last one? What happened to the last one? Oh, he was just some loser that couldn't hack it. Ended up becoming asphalt behind my tires. I think there's a little bit of them still on the back wheel. I think I'm gonna be sick. You throw up on this jacket, and I'm gonna hurt you so bad you'll wish you were dead. Tsukune found himself keeping in the vomit, as eventually the ride would come to an end. The two find themselves on that weird beach area that wasn't too far off from where the bus that led to the human world would come in. This is where I saw you and your friends, when you were going on and on. You fought those three losers. Oh, wait, you saw... I know your secret. I don't know what you're... Save it. I know all about it, mutant, purple blood, all that jazz. But how did you... We were in an open area. I was standing on this cliff. I looked at you down there, and you were talking super, super loud. I mean, dude, seriously. Like, be more discreet. You just act like no one's going to hear you? I mean, let me guess. You suffer from that main character syndrome, don't you? Main character? You know what I'm talking about. You're the type of guy who goes on and on about your personal business with your friends just out in the plain old blue and open because you think that you're just so much of a hotshot and everyone else is just some weird background character number 378 that they're just not going to pay attention to you or what you're saying? Dude, if you don't pick up on the game and act more tactful, you're going to get hog-tied out of here so fast. Okay, you found out my secret. What now? Do you know what I am? Nah, I don't know what you are. Say, have you been the one causing those murders? Wait, so they're real? Well, yeah, of course they're real. Right now they're just rumors, but they're talking about the dead bodies that were found all webbed up in a cocoon. You're the only one on this campus with spider powers, so, well... 1 plus 1, it's gotta equal 2, doesn't it? No, it equals 3 in this case, because it's not me. At least I know it's not me. Are you sure about that? I mean, you've seen that little vampire vixen of yours. Mocha? That girl. From what I was able to understand, you got your powers when she bit you, right? Yeah. You got bit by a vampire girl who has 2 split personalities, is completely bipolar, and 1 minute she's a silver-haired badass, and the next minute she's a soft and fragile pink-haired lollipop. You don't think any of that could have rubbed off on you? I mean, if your power manifested because she bit you, who's to say you didn't pick up any of her other traits? So what are you saying? You think I have some type of split personality? Some type of... Yeah. Maybe you've got your own inner monster. One that's going around here stirring up the pot, causing a lot of trouble. But of course, that's just one possibility. It could actually be someone else, but you have no idea of knowing who that could be. And because of the damn rule, no one's just going to outright reveal to you who they are. That means you gotta figure it out before it's too late. A couple of murders here and there, they're not gonna make too much of a big deal. But when it starts getting closer to campus, you think it's gonna happen on campus? I have a sick feeling it's gonna happen. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. When the authorities get involved, they're gonna look into every single student. And I guarantee you're going to be the first one they go after. Even if you're not the one that did it, you can't deny what you are. Your blood only makes you more of a dead giveaway. And not just you. They'll come after your family. Anyone in the human world that knows you. They gotta tie up loose ends one way or another. This caused Tsukune to get fearful. Not knowing what to expect or not to know what was going to come. Please, I don't know what happened. I just gotta. I know, you want answers. Well, lucky for you, I'm the type of person who can get you those answers. But you're gonna have to do me a favor first. A favor? What's that? Well, there's something that I want for my bike. My dad won't get it for me, but someone from the human world, I think you can get it. The bus was starting to pull in. That bus is going to be making a round trip. It's going to be here, go to the human world, and in 12 hours, it'll make its run back to Yokai Academy. Now that they've switched it up so it comes and goes every day now, you can get back before class starts in the morning, don't you think? Hold on, are you blackmailing me? I'm not blackmailing you. I'm just sending you on an errand to go get something that I need. And what if I don't? Well, I mean, my lips ain't loose, and you know what they say about loose lips. You know, sinking ships, something like that. This is extortion. No, I call it aggressive negotiations. You need my help, and with all due respect, the succubus, the bipolar vampire, and the flat-chested witch ain't gonna get it done. What you need is the Forbidden Library. The Forbidden Library? It's under Yokai Academy. Very few know about it, very few know how to get into it. But if you want to find out all the juicy secrets about the past that the grown-ups try to keep hidden, they say whatever you're looking for, if it exists, even if it's just a theory, you'll find it in the underground library. However, you need someone who can actually get you down there, because it's filled with a lot of traps and seals. If you're not careful, you'll end up going, you know. Alright. Tsukune would say, thinking about everything that happened, everything that could happen, with the worst case scenario looming over him, Tsukune knew he didn't have much time to waste. Tell me what you need.